All right, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Welcome, everybody. This is the Mason County Commission official business meeting for May 21st, 2024. We're going to go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. My old friend from the Belfair North Mason region, would you lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance?
I sure will.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm just saying that because he was stolen from North Mason. They did well to do it. Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trax.
I'm here.
Okay. Next up, correspondence and organizational business. Do you have any correspondence to come before us?
The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in the following: liquor license renewal applications, cannabis license renewal applications, and notice for sending business licenses and renewal notices. United States Bankruptcy Court sent in notice of adjournment of the hearing to consider the Health Dialogue sale transaction. Washington State County Road Administration Board sent in a certificate of good practice. And the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission sent in minimum flow and ramping rate deviations for the Cushman Hydroelectric Project.
Thank you. Next up is our Older Americans Month proclamation.
Hi.
If you don't mind, would you, no, it is you, but please come around to the podium right
I'm
there.
right here?
So that, yes, and tell us who you are and perhaps where you're
No.
from so they can go ahead and,
I am Becky Cronquist with Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agent Agency representing Mason County. And the month of May is Older Americans Month. So I have the proclamation to read. Whereas May is Older Americans Month, a time for us to recognize and honor Mason County's older adults and their immense influence on every facet of American society. And whereas through their wealth of life experience and wisdom, older adults guide our younger generations and carry forward abundant culture and historical knowledge. And whereas older Americans improve our communities through intergenerational relationships, community service, civic engagement, and many other activities. And whereas communities benefit when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds have the opportunity to participate and live independently. And whereas Mason County must ensure that older Americans have the resources and support needed to stay involved in our communities, reflecting our commitment to inclusivity and connectedness. And now, therefore, may it be resolved that the Board of Mason County Commissioners hereby proclaim May 2024 as Older Americans Month. This year's theme, Powered by Connection, emphasizes the profound impact of meaningful interactions and social connections on the well-being and health of older adults in our community. We call upon all residents to join us in recognizing the contributions of older citizens and promoting programs and activities that foster connection, inclusion, and support for older adults.
thank you, Becky. Item number 4.3, Mason County Fire Protection District number 12 Commissioner Vacancies News Release. Is that you, Mark?
Absolutely. So Mason County Commissioner's Office issued a news release. The Board of Mason County Commissioners is seeking individuals interested in serving as a Mason County Fire Protection District number 12 Commissioner for position 1 and 3. The appointed persons shall serve until qualified individuals are elected in 2025. For verification of eligibility, please contact the Mason County Auditor's Office Elections Department at 360-427-9670, extension 470. The Mason County Commissioners have scheduled a special meeting for Friday, May 24th, 2024 at 9 a.m. to interview applicants and potentially appoint 2 individuals to serve as Mason County Fire Protection District 12 Commissioners. Parties interested in being appointed to these positions may obtain an application at the Mason County Commissioner's Office at 411 North 5th Street, Shelton. Call 360-427-9670, extension 419. Visit the Mason County website at www.masoncountywa.gov or contact Mackenzie Smith, Clerk of the Board, at msmith@masoncountywa.gov. Please submit your application to the County Commissioner's Office or Clerk of the Board no later than noon Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. Please contact Mark Neary, County Administrator, with any questions, 360-427-9670, extension 530.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, is there anything more to come before this commission in the form of correspondence or organizational business?
There is not.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on to item number 5, which is our open forum for citizens' input. This is your opportunity to come and speak to the commission or the community about an item that is not on the agenda. Again, we ask that if it is on the agenda, you just go ahead and hold off. You'll be given an opportunity to testify at that time if you wish to have it removed for a separate vote. With that being said, understand that there's a 3-minute time limit and a 15-minute maximum for everybody. So if you don't mind, if you do have something to say, please be brief. I'll be handling it first by asking for citizens that would like to speak in the room first, and then I will move afterwards to the Zoom land. So with that, if you just hold off in Zoom, and I will ask them in the room first. Is there anybody here who would like to speak to the commission and the community on any item that is not on the agenda? If so, please raise your hand and I will call on you. Anybody in the room would like to speak on anything that is not on the agenda, raise your hand and I will call on you. Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and move over to Zoom land. If there's anybody in Zoom that has an item they would like to discuss with the commission and the community that is not on the agenda, I would ask you right now to either raise your hand if you know how, or please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will call on you. If there's anybody on Zoom, please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will call on you if you'd like to talk to the commission on any item not on the agenda. I see none, and we're going to go ahead and move forward to item number 6, which is the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move adoption of today's agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the adoption of today's agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next up is approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the April 9th, 2024 regular minutes and April 9th, 2024 elected official and department head meeting minutes.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the April 9th, 2024 regular minutes and the April 9th, 2024 officials and department head meeting minutes as presented. Any comments? Any polls? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, the motion carries. Next up is our approval of the action agenda. The action agenda is where we do most of our business. We will read into the record each item on the action agenda. After we read it in there, you will have an opportunity to ask a question to help you decide whether to take it off for a separate vote. If you would like to testify, it'll have to come off for a separate vote. If you have a question, that's different. So after we read it in there, that will be your opportunity. But please, hold off until we're done reading it, and then we'll go ahead and get back to you. With that being said, Commissioner Trask, if you wouldn't mind reading items 8.1 through 8.5. Commissioner Schutte, if you would read 8.6 through 8. We'll go ahead and 8.10, and I'll do the remainder.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 8.1, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances, claims clearing fund warrants number 8104584 through 8105009 in the amount of $2,177,796.17. Direct deposit fund warrant numbers 106190 through 106596 in the amount of $862,944.39. Salary Clearing Fund warrants number 7008109 through 7008144 in the amount of $1,171,740.22. Item 8.2, approval to appoint Peter Fair Lazarenko to the Housing Authority for a 5-year term set to expire May 21st, 2029. Item 8.3, approval of the contract with BlazeStack for fire investigation reporting software in the amount of $9,501 for a 19-month term. Item 8.4, approval of the lease agreement with Public Hospital District Number 1 for the first floor of the building located at 2300 Katy Court Street A in Shelton from May 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025. Item 8.5, approval of the participating agreement between Mason County and the United States Department of Agriculture Forest Service Olympic National Forest for noxious weed control in Mason County and adjacent federal lands.
Mr. Chair, item 8.6, approval of the notice of adoption of a resolution of intention to create a road improvement district for Shetland Road, and approval to set a public hearing for Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024 at 9:15 a.m. Item 8.7, approval of the resolution accepting the recommendation of the hearing examiner granting the vacation of the right-of-way as petitioned, subject to the conditions contained in the findings, conclusions, and recommendations of the hearings examiner for road vacation number 415. Item 8.8, approval of the 2023 oath of inventory. Item 8.9, approval to set a public hearing for Tuesday, June 18th, 2024 at 9:15 a.m. to consider and approve supplemental budget requests and budget transfers to the 2024 budget. And item 8.10, approval for the county administrator to sign for the following vehicle orders through Enterprise within the 2025 motor pool rate structure: 7 replacement White Fleet vehicles and 7 replacement police pursuit vehicles and 1 police pursuit vehicle to replace totaled vehicle number 330 and 1 new grant-funded White Fleet vehicle for public health.
All right, buckle up, because there's gonna be some long stuff on this next one. Item number 8.11, approval of American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA contract amendment with Public Utility District Number 1, PUD1, for Viewcrest Phase 3 to extend the expiration date to September 30th, 2024. Item number 8.12, approval to add 1 full-time employee FTE elections technician and approval to increase funding for the additional extra help in the amount of $7,000. Item number 8.13, approval to reallocate the remaining American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, to the following projects: governmental operations including salaries, benefits for administration, and law and justice paid from the general fund, $112,409.72. Mason County Senior Activity Center, $4,628.31. Human Resources Recruitment Materials, $10,000. Community Development, $13,000. Sheriff's Office Celebrite System, $13,300. Parks and Trails, $25,000. Mason County Cemetery District Number 1, Twin Firs, the amount $28,485. Human Resources First Aid CPR Materials, $30,000. Belfair Water Backup Generators, $33,788.63. Sheriff's Office Firearms Acquisition, $42,369. Economic Development Council of Mason County, $50,000. South Mason Fire and Rescue District Number 4, $63,340. Habitat for Humanity, $75,000. Transfer to Russellwood for Operations, $75,000. PUD1 Lake Arrowhead Main Line, $75,000. The facilities for the following projects: Sheriff's Office Building Number 11, removal of bentonite, $20,000. Coroner's Office generator, $10,000. Modular Courtroom Building 6 ramp repair, $3,000. Juvenile Detention Center new ramp, $7,000. Sheriff's Office new roof, $50,000. And WSU Extension Building 4 new roof, $30,000. Item number 8.14, approval to reallocate American Rescue Plan Act funds from the following complete PW Belfair Pump Station Number 1 Improvement Project, $40,000 to the new Turning Point $40,000 project. With that being said, all items have been read into the record. This is your opportunity to ask any question that you may have that would help you to decide whether or not to take an item off for a separate vote. Does anybody have any questions in the room that would help you to make that decision? Is there anybody in Zoom land that has any questions on the items that were just read into the record that would help you to make a decision on whether to take an item off for a separate vote? If so, unmute yourself and say your name and I'll call on you. I hear nothing, so with that being said, Commissioners, I would like to take off item number 13 and 14 for a separate vote, please. Do you have any other items you'd like taken off for a separate vote? Do you? Is there anybody in the room that has an item they would like taken off for a separate vote? Is there anybody in Zoom land that has an item they would like taken off for a separate vote? If so, unmute yourself, say your name, and I'll call on you. Anybody in Zoom land have any item they want taken off for a separate vote? Please unmute yourself, say your name, and I'll call on you. I give extra time because you'd be shocked how many people can't find the unmute button. It happens all the time. All right, so with that being said, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of action agenda items 8.1 through 8.12 with 8.13 and 8.14 removed for separate discussion and vote.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just real quickly, a couple of things. Just appreciate the partnership with Mason Health on the facility that we're signing a lease agreement with. I know there's still some work to do on our end to figure out some tenant improvement costs and what that plan looks like. And even though the lease term runs out April 30th of 2025, I'm hopeful that we're not going to go in there and do a bunch of tenant improvements without the ability to extend that beyond next year. And so I hope that that continues to be a good partnership, and Mason Health has really stepped up to help quite a bit, and just look forward to being able to provide additional services there as well.
You have any comments?
Yeah, just real quick, I want to welcome Peter to the Housing Authority. I always welcome people to our committees, to our advisory committees, because they are essential for us to be able to do our jobs efficiently and effectively. And then I'll probably have more comments later.
Okay. So it has been moved and seconded for the approval of the action agenda with the removal of items number 8.13 and 8.14. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes carry. Okay, so the first one up is item number 8.3, which is the approval to reallocate the remaining American Rescue Plan Act funds to the following projects as I had read into the record. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'll make the motion for approval on that, and then we'll ask the public if they would like to testify or anything. Can I get a second?
Oh, yes. You're not going to read it again?
I know, I always do, but come on.
No, I'm good with that.
Okay, good, thank you. The pressure they hold under a person. Okay, so with that, is there anybody who would like to testify on this item? If so, please raise your hand and I will call on you. None? Is there anybody in Zoom land that would like to testify on item number 8.3, the approval to reallocate the remaining American Rescue Plan Act, as I had described before, breaking down all the dollars, understanding to the public that there was a limitation of $75,000 was the most they could ask for per project on this reallocation. Is there anybody in Zoom land who would like to testify or say anything? If so, unmute yourself and I will call on you. Okay, it has been moved and seconded for the approval of the approval to reallocate the remaining American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds to the projects, the following projects. I will have to do that. We got $112,409 to the general fund. Senior Center, $4,628. Human Resources, materials, $10,000. Community Development, $13,000. Sheriff's Office, Celebrite, $13,300. Parks and Trails, $25,000. Mason County Cemetery District, 21st, $28,485. Human Resources, First Aid materials, $30,000. Belfort Water Backup Generators, $33,788.63. Sheriff's Office Firearm Acquisition, $42,369. Economic Development Council of Mason County, $50,000. South Mason Fire and Rescue District number 4, $63,340. Habitat for Humanity, $75,000. Transfer to Russellwood Operations, $75,000. PUD 1 Lake Area Head Main Line, $75,000. Facilities for following projects: Sheriff's Office Building 11, Removal of bentonite, coroner's office, generator 10,000. The removal of the bentonite was 20,000. Modular courtroom, building 6, ramp repair 3,000. Juvenile detention center, new ramp 7,000. Sheriff's office, new roof 50,000. WSU extension, building number 4, new roof 30,000. Any further comments from the commission?
Yeah, just real quick, all of these are just amazing projects and necessary, but I wanted to thank Greg for coming in and supporting and being a part of the South Mason Fire. All of our fire districts are so important, but that one's kind of special because it's in my area.
And you have a great one, Commissioner. I got a chance to enjoy their meeting. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
And that motion carries. Next up, item number 14, approval to reallocate American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds from the following completed PW Belfair Pump Station number 1 improvement project of $40,000. The project to the new Turning Point $40,000 project. So with that being said, I will therefore make a motion for the adoption of that item. Will you second?
Second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded for the adoption. Does anybody like to testify on that issue? Anybody in the room? Anybody on Zoom land like to testify on that issue? Hearing none, I will go ahead. It has been moved and seconded for the approval to reallocate American Rescue Plan Act ARPA funds from the following completed project. Belfair Water Pump Station number 1 improvement project, $40,000 to the project to the new Turning Point for $40,000 project. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay. And that takes care of that. That brings us to item number 9, which is other business, department heads and elected officials. Are there any department heads or elected officials who would like to speak at this time? We have one. Sold. Come on up.
Hey, good morning, Commissioner. Steve Dunkel, Mason County Auditor. 3 things. First of all, thank you for approving the additional funding for the elections team. That's going to help us a lot get up to speed with the new statutory requirements coming our way and spend some intensive effort cleaning the voter rolls. Secondly, tomorrow, speaking of elections, we have the Mason County Elections Town Hall from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Shelton Civic Center. Everyone's invited. Hope to see you all there. And lastly, June 1, we're planning to have a limited rollout of our passport service for U.S. passports. And once we get up to speed, we anticipate that will generate about $5,000 a month in revenue to the county. So that's what I've got to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would, any other department head or elected official who would like to speak at this time? Elected official. We made that, we changed that before. Please, come on up.
I'm Greg Sipnicki, Fire Commissioner for South Mason Fire and Rescue, and I wanted to thank you for the approval of the water tanks. It's really gonna be very beneficial to have static water supplies in different parts of the fire district. A lot of these places are isolated when it comes to fighting a fire, and to have a static water supply like that will really aid in fighting a house fire or wildfires. And as we all know, with things getting drier, that continues to be a threat. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Commissioners, for the amount of money that we pay for that, what a benefit that provides. Imagine if you're out in those areas, in the farther areas out, and you have water tanks spread around in the areas that just can't get water wherever you want it. What a cheap way out. I was just saying. Is there any other department heads or elected officials that would like to speak at this time? Is there anybody on Zoom land that is a department head or elected official who would like to speak at this point? Please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will call on you. Is there anybody that would like to, any department head or elected official, I've been hanging around you too much. It's that sugar I just had before coming in. An elected official who would like to speak to the commission, please unmute yourself and say your name, and I'll call on you. Other than that, I see none. We have, under item number 10, we have no public hearings for today. So we will move on to board reports and calendars. Commissioner Trask, if you would start us off, Commissioner Schutte, and then myself.
All right, thank you. First off, just real briefly, the American Rescue Plan Act, the ARPA funds, have helped our communities in so many different ways. We don't get this opportunity often, but I wanted to say that we're very proud of how we've distributed the monies, or I'm very proud of how we've distributed the monies, and to see the positive effect in Mason County. So, now that I've said that, later this afternoon, we have a Mason Transit Authority Board meeting, a Turning Point fundraising meeting, and that's one reason I removed myself from item 8.14. Tomorrow, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Going to tour the Cowlitz landfill with the SWAC committee, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Tomorrow night, hope to make it, if we get back in time, to the, there's a community conversation with Monica Guzman. Public Works Fill the Truck event Thursday. Everybody make sure that you make it out to either Walmart or Belfair and bring items to fill the truck. Pretty cool, from 9 to 2:30. Also have a Public Works Board Executive Committee meeting. I believe, are we having a homeless camp meeting tomorrow or no?
Yes, 3 o'clock.
Okay, I'm going to that. We have our special board meeting on Friday. Saturday, I'm going to my grandson's lacrosse championship tournaments. I'll be at Railroad Tap Station on Sunday between 11 and 2 for a signature gathering for I-2066. Monday's Memorial Day. Everybody enjoy that day, hopefully. Looks like it's going to be good weather, so that should be fun. Board of Health meeting on Tuesday the 28th. Nope. Forget that one. Have a
Sorry,
turning-
Dave. Dave's
Glad
still
you're in the
not
room,
happy about
Dave.
that.
Turning Point Board meeting, Public Works Board Executive Committee meeting, Area Agency on Aging meeting. Might make it to the Sheriff's Breakfast on Friday, might not. Want to wish my brother and his lovely wife a happy anniversary. And then back for briefings and Wasatch Virtual Assembly on Monday.
Excellent. Mr. Chair, just a couple things from last week. First, I want to note that had our Thurston Mason Behavioral Health organization meeting, and Mark Friedman, who'd been the longtime CEO, was his last governance board meeting. He's retiring at the end of June, and so had an opportunity to wish him all the best as he moves on in his life. On behalf of Mason County, we've seen a tremendous amount of growth in services and opportunity, in particular with our co-responder program, and it just we'll miss having his wealth of knowledge as a part of the organization. But the board also has appointed Joe Avalos, who had been the COO, to fill the position, and Joe is widely regarded across the state and even nationally for his work in the area of behavioral health, and has decades of experience in that field as well. So we're confident that the transition will be a smooth one, and that we won't see any disruption of services or changes in level of service here in Mason County. And as I also look forward to cycling off of that board at the end of this year, I know that whoever takes that seat, whether it's one of you or somebody that comes on the commission new in 2025, will continue to advocate for Mason County to get their fair share of services into the community from that organization. Also just want to note that last week was kind of a hectic and frenetic week for us here at the county, as it was for folks out in Fire District 12, and ultimately just a lot of decision making having to happen here, and coordination with our Department of Emergency Management and folks at the state level, and all of our fire districts across the county to figure out kind of what we do in this situation. And I wanted to take a moment to also publicly thank Commissioner Netherland for his work in facilitating the departure of 3 commissioners in Fire District 12, and for being willing to put his own personal interests aside in order to best serve his community. And so, as Commissioner Trask mentioned, we do have a special meeting on Friday. We announced today that we'll be receiving applications and interviewing folks, but we couldn't have gotten to that point without the hard work of a lot of people in the community. Some of you are here today. Amanda, I know you've been in it from the beginning and just in the thick of things. And so hopefully this is a turning of the page for Matlock and Fire District 12 so that we can have a fresh start with 2 new people to appoint on Friday and get back to some sense of normalcy out in that part of the county. But just wanted to acknowledge Commissioner Netherland for his work on Sunday morning. Going forward this week, also have the Mason Transit Board meeting this afternoon, Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board this week. Let's see. Going forward, also may be attending the Sheriff's Breakfast and the Signature Gathering event over the weekend. Then we have the Memorial Day holiday. Might have a meeting with one of our legislators next week, waiting to confirm that as well. And then back for briefings and my bi-weekly, get ready for this one, commissioners, my bi-weekly BHASO check-in. So somebody's going to be the inheritor of that. So good luck.
Okay. So, in the last few weeks, left law enforcement firefighters short-term workshops. We did a workshop on short-term rentals that I think is working in the right direction. I have some people that are upset about it, but we're just gonna all have to sit down and talk it out to find out what's best for the community. Finance committee meeting, Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority meeting, we had a meeting with the audit committee, Rotary filing fling event that I attended, had a kickoff for a candidate. I had executive sessions for many different things we did here. North Mason Chamber of Commerce, several special meetings in regards to Fire District 12. We met with Peter Jones, I met with Peter Jones to talk about some other issues that we're trying to deal with when it comes to finding different ways to do diversions so that we can still continue to prosecute and defend these people. A Take Back Mason County meeting. Then, as I said, we had another special meeting for 12. Then on Sunday, I had a special meeting right here where they came in and attended the resignations. And then I attended an R meeting that I want to say the commissioner was also there, but we did not discuss business in any way. We did acknowledge the presence. But I want to take one moment before I go on to what we're going to do next to comment about the folks at Matlock and what had occurred there. The commission played a pivotal role in how we handled our meeting and how we were able and how wonderful the people were with how they interacted with us here. And I want to say specifically I was very impressed with the people of Matlock and how they handled it. I don't know as much about how they handle things out there, but when they were here, they were 100% professional. And when we dealt with them, I want to say thank you to them all being grown-ups in the room. All 3 of the commissioners decided that in order to protect the community, they should do what they need to do. And sometimes that means put yourself on a chopping block in order to do that. But the most impressive part was they had a meeting before and asked the community not to show up for the Sunday meeting in order not to blow it out of proportion to have anybody change their mind and rabbit. This place had crickets. And I'm telling you right now, I did not expect that. I had a full expectation of a whole nother event to occur. But it just goes to show you the strength of that community itself. And then Mark told me today, how many signed up to?
I believe we have 24 emergency workers.
That signed up to volunteer to help do this. Come on, guys, that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
So, just an extra special thank you because none of that happens without all of them. And even some of it may have happened because they weren't all here. So with that, thank you to everybody. MTA board meeting after this, I have Rotary meeting. I've been asked to go down to the Pioneer School District to help them look at some of the logging issues they have behind them to do some of the things we did here at Mason County where we brought in revenues by going out looking at non-binding bid. That's how we brought in a lot of extra revenue. We were able to keep the land. There's a curiosity how to do that, but I've never looked at the land. I'm going to go out and
Sorry, where was this?
behind the Pioneer School District.
Oh, okay.
Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization. I may also be at the Sheriff's Breakfast, facilities meeting with North Mason School District, law enforcement firefighter meeting. I may drop into your WASAC meeting. They have a virtual, you just drop in and you listen, but we don't talk or anything or do any business. I just take in information. Special meeting on Friday, as you heard. I really believe that, just looking at that community, we're gonna have plenty of people to apply. And I believe it's gonna be a very easy choice with some of the quality people that I got a chance to meet. I'm hoping a few of them do apply, because this is gonna be a wonderful thing. Brings us back to briefings and we start all over again. So with that being said, that brings us to the end of our agenda. I will,
Commissioner Neville?
yes,
I didn't hear any commissioner bring it up, so I just wanted to bring it up. This Thursday, May 23rd, as celebrating a National Public Works Week, there is a Fill a Public Works Truck event. I didn't hear you.
yeah,
Mark, we're gonna have to talk.
Oh,
next time stand on this side,
did
just
you
in
tell all
case.
the, did you say all the locations?
No, well, I said Belfair and Walmart, but
And northwest corner of 7th and Railroad.
would you like to be more specific?
Yes. So it's from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Walmart Supercenter on Wallace Nealon Boulevard, northwest corner of 7th and Railroad, and Belfair QFC 201 Northeast State Route 300. I actually had the pleasure of doing a ride along with our road supervisor, Rod LaRue, last week up in the Belfair area. And they have an amazing team that gets a ton of work done, and the quality of work that they do, and the level of support and education to all staff members of this is why we do what we do, really empowers them to be great public works employees. But Rod is very competitive when it comes to the Fill a Public Works Truck event, and he has been handing out flyers. He expects to win this year, meaning that Belfair will collect more than the Railroad and Walmart Supercenter locations. So make
Challenge
sure you go
accepted.
out and participate.
Combined,
Yes.
combined, yep,
Template drop.
yeah.
Can I ask where all those resources go to?
Turning Point, and then,
The Saints Pantry
thank you, yes,
and North Mason Food Bank.
yes, great question.
And they are very competitive, and I guess so am I, a little bit. So if you live in Shelton and you are looking for a drop-off donation, it's at the QFC in Belfair.
Yeah.
So please, feel free to come out there.
And items that you can donate,
Yeah,
important to know.
and weight is important, so if you've got cans, you got guys there that are willing to unload your vehicle for you. So again, just come up to the QFC in Belfair. It's funny because people they'll bring stuff, and I will watch them actually talk them into going in and bringing out more. And they accept cash, so please, come out, help all your neighbors and your friends, and also help our competition by bringing your deliveries to QFC in Belfair.
Challenge
So,
accepted.
Yep,
Yes, new unopened toiletries
Yeah.
are accepted. Non-perishable, non-expired food items and cash or check donations are also accepted, so.
you
thank
can't stress how much the toiletry things, how important they are, especially for people that have issues. At Turning Point, one of the things that, she's on the board, I wanna point that out, I'm so proud we have a member on the board, it's one of my favorite charities. But when I first started dealing with them, when I found out one of the greatest needs that they had were simple things like socks, because those floors are cold, socks and slippers, a blanket, if you're a battered mate, to be able to feel safe in a blanket is huge. Meats and stuff like that. So I also want to say you're welcome to go there and do donations on their own. They're always waiting for them, and there's a never end to that need. So
We have 56 beds.
yeah, imagine that right here.
56,
I mean, we're still, it's still the second largest in the state,
We're
we're
the
just
second
right
largest in
behind
the
King
state.
County.
yeah,
Yeah, which is
Wow.
incredible.
yeah.
Yeah, and they take
Yeah.
care of them too,
And we
guys.
take pets too, so there's,
Yeah.
there's, I could go on and on and
We
on
donate
about
pets?
Turning Point.
I was gonna say pets and kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, is the date for the fellow truck?
Thursday.
23rd, this Thursday, from 9 a.m. to 3:30?
And where are those
Yes,
locations
2:30.
again?
2:30.
And what can they donate?
So make sure that you spread the word and tell them to come to Walmart
yeah.
in Shelton.
Yeah,
Or 7th and Railroad.
and how you get to Walmart and Shelton is you go down Highway 3 to Belfair, and it's right behind the QFC. You'll find the trucks. All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Hearing no objection, we are adjourned.